It's good to be in colloquium once more, and with all the rest of you all at FSU. And I'm here today. First of all, my name's Stuart Fleischer. I teach at the American International School in Israel, and I'm also the project director for the Nvsf Virtual Science Fair. And George asked me to talk to you a little bit about this concept. I mentioned Nvsf, which stands for Near East South Asia. And it's a group of 70 schools from Athens to Cairo all the way to the Himalayas in Kathmandu. And it's a group of American schools, international schools, that are separated by boundaries and borders geographically and politically. And today we're also standing in the Hula Valley here in northern Israel, which is one of the most unique sites in the world. It's a UN registered world biome where plants and animals for Asia, Africa, and Europe are all in one place together. This is where, right now, which I'm about to go bird watching, 500 million birds fly through this area, this small area, 2 times a year. So what does this, where we're standing, have to do with the Nvsf Virtual Science Fair? Very simple. We're able to bring students together from all over the world without any political or geographical borders. Nobody needs passports. And the idea came about that, first of all, nobody wants to do a science fair anymore, and they're not that popular. Maybe you guys are saying, you're nodding your heads, no, well, it's happening in middle schools, a little bit in elementary schools, and as we know from statistics in the United States, it's dropping every year. But here out in the international area, it's almost nil, because the American schools, international schools, can't compete with local national science fairs because you don't speak the language. For instance, here in Israel, you'd have to speak Hebrew or Arabic to be able to compete and participate, and also be part of the Ministry of Education. So our school is not, and it limited our ability to have a science fair. So with the power of the internet, and we chose Blackboard as our e-learning platform, we were able to allow students to have a physical science fair at our school, conduct traditional research, but with an internet platform such as Blackboard, we're able to invite mentors in from around the world, such as George, who's standing among you all right now. George has been for the last 3 years a mentor and a virtual judge at the competition, hosting now 12 schools and over 1,000 students from these areas that we've talked about earlier. So each student, in the philosophy of the science fair, we want to... we'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Hi George, I'm back again in the Hula now. We've biked a few kilometers in. If you look right behind me, you can see Egyptian papyrus, which is the last range where this plant grows, the famous papyrus plant that created the first known paper. Okay, back to the Nvsf Virtual Science Fair. The platform is based on using a rich environment, creating a rich environment by using scientists from around the world, or science ed students like you have right behind you watching this film, to support our students. Each student gets a coach. That coach helps them facilitate their science fair project from the very beginning, from that research question through developing the entire scientific method and creating the experiment. This process takes about 10 weeks, and through the entire conversation, there's a collaboration effort developed between the mentor, the e-mentor as we call it, and the student in the local place versus virtual. This combination gives us an extremely rich environment, which is collected on a blog. Inside Blackboard there's a blog and a wiki. Students put their research information in the wiki, and the blog is where the collaborative effort goes on between the e-mentor and the student or students. And then later on we have virtual judges that come in and judge the project as well. So we create a rich environment. Imagine one teacher working with 60 students versus now one teacher not having to work with that student anymore because that student has a science-educated partner that's working through the entire research. If I have some time on this little short video, I'll try to insert some of the clips of the e-mentor and mentor conversations. And I'll put some information if you're interested in participating in this project this year, which we now have actually 17 teams, including African teams as well, from Gambia, Chad, Mozambique, Madagascar, and South Africa. We'll have some information at the end. Hope you could hear everything I said. Otherwise, I'll re-edit it when we get back home. See you later, George.